Hi, this is Kerry Artek with Wicked Stocks, bringing you the daily Tesla report for Friday, December 9th, 2022. Let's take a look at the charts. Big day today with respect to the longer-term outlook. We are still testing the range of long-term support, presently between 167.28 and 175.39. We've dipped into it this week. We're still in it, so to speak. Unless we close below 167.28, today by a 1% margin, which I show here at 165.61. By the way, this newsletter is free and downloadable in PDF format. You can click on the charts. They open up just like this. Unless we close below 167.28 by the 1% margin of 165.61 or lower today, this is still bottom picking territory on a long-term basis, and above which I think over the next couple of months, the low 240s and descending daily, daily, but weekly in this situation. This is a weekly chart. 240-285 is a descending 1/3 speed line that is based in part on the low from a few weeks ago, and it is our next longer term trend defining resistance, able to contain buying through January, through February. We could fall off from there, and if we close above 240-285, then we enter another long-term sell signal into the 320s. That is just sort of the big picture. So that is what is sort of the reality right now, holding above that long-term support area in the 167.28 to 175.39 area. So that's that. Let's take a look at the daily charts. And you can see, let's start with this one, longer term daily chart. The same band of channel support will be slightly different on the daily versus the weekly chart. These levels here, 175.39, 167.28, are the weekly levels. And if we close 165.61 or lower today, we enter another significant sell signal as we move through the rest of the year and into January. I'll get to that in a moment. But for right now, I'm going to assume that we're still carving out a long-term low in this vicinity. For the day itself, upside, I've got 180.16. This former channel top can contain intraday buying pressures. If we push through 180.16 today, 187.51 is in reach. That would be a significant rally, but we've seen them before. I have my doubts whether we would reach 187.51, but I do think if we push through 180.16, there's really no good reason to be short through the rest of the day. And yes, 187.51 would be in reach perhaps by the closing bell. Overall, this long-term support area represented here as horizontal lines in this particular daily chart, 167.28 to 175.39. This area above which now we can, by the end of next week, reach the next meaningful near to midterm resistance area, 198.40. And that is a level that, if tested over the next week or two, can contain weekly buying pressures, and we can fall off from here into later December, possibly the balance of the month, back into the long-term support zone, presently in the upper 160s, the mid 170s. It would be a settlement above 198.40 that would tell me we should see aggressive gains as we move into January. That 242.85 speed line, then likely inside of 3 to 5 weeks, were we to close over the next week or two above 198.40. So I'm giving you big picture stuff. By the way, all the minor points have been carefully chosen for you aggressive day traders. Every single one of them has some degree of meaning. 178.75. I've already given you 180.16 as our upward pivot point for the day. And if we do push or open above 180.16, 187.51 attainable by the closing bell. A settlement today above 187.51 would indicate, once again, this 198.40 area within just another day or two of activity, where we can top out through next week, possibly in a later December. And if we close above 198.40, meaningful buy signal into January trade. So there's a couple things you can do here. You can bottom pick this zone, even if you're just sort of a 3 to 5 day swing trader. It's 187.51 is your objective, or a 1 to 2 week swing trader. It's 198.40. If you're a long-term position trader, in other words, into January, February trade, your target at this point in time is 240, 285 over the next couple of months. And if you're a longer term investor holding Tesla, as long as you see it's suggested, there's nothing to say that we couldn't test the 320s as we move into the middle of next year. But I don't see a clear indication of 329.54 unless we close above 240, 285. So that covers the upside today. Let's talk downside. That if we do close today 165.61 or lower, which is a 1% violation of this meaningful support threshold at 167.28, I think we've got a 3 to 5 week sell signal. I know. I'm sort of hemming and hawing over the timing of this. I think 3 to 5 weeks is certainly in the realm of possibility. That would be an aggressive sell-off. It could also take through January before reaching this 112.91 to 124.61 area, where we could bottom out on a monthly basis and turn back up from there, back into the 160s, 170s again. But as I show in this chart, this long-term head and shoulders top, the neckline of which is roughly 179.83. We have a 5/8 Fibonacci at 172.94, which you can see here. And we also have, of greater significance really, these channel bottoms. So if we close below these channel structures today, as I've already outlined, then I do think you should expect this lower area within 3 to 5 weeks. Could take a little longer where we could bottom out on a monthly basis. But the point I'm trying to make here, and I've made before, is if we take all these long-term support areas out between 172.94 and 167.28, that this thing can continue unraveling as we move into later 23. We can bounce in the 110s, back into the 160s, and fall off again. I've seen it happen many times, and I know you have too. So that is really all that needs to be said. Please click like if you haven't already. If you're listening, please click like, subscribe. Go to wickedstocks.com. Check out our other premium work, Daily Triple Q, Daily SPY Report we do every single day. If you trade the SPY or the Q, you want to look at our work. I'm telling you, it's just like this, but in the SPY and the Q. And please share the content, if you would, with friends and colleagues. I'll be back Sunday afternoon with Monday's Tesla Report, and you have a great weekend.